All right, how's it going? It's Mr. Burns here, and I'm going to talk today about the third-party political personality, the part two of the Unit 2 project. Part one, you already hopefully finished at this point, was the campaign button, right? You guys can't create your own campaign button through by creating your own third party. You came up with an issue. You came up with a name for your party and a slogan. You did a rough draft on here, handed in, I checked it, and then you did a final copy and submitted it for grading. That should be done. That was due previously. So now the second part of the project, if you are watching this, is the political personality. So the goal of this project at the top is to justify the selection of a candidate from a list of available candidates who will run as your third party's nominee in the 2024 election. This candidate must have the same or similar belief as your party's stance on the focus issue. So if you were pro legalization of marijuana, your candidate that you pick has to have that stance. If you were someone who was for pro gun rights and not having gun control and having unlimited gun rights, your candidate must also have that stance. From there, you have a lot of leeway. Okay, so what you're going to do is on this document that's shared with you on Schoology, you are going to write your third party's name, your issue, and your slogan here. Okay, and you can get that from your third party button handout and from your button itself. Okay, all right. So now I have this little introduction. Imagine it's the election. Several candidates, are beginning to drop out of the race. They'd hope to get the Democratic or Republican nomination, or maybe not. Maybe they're an independent. Your third party is able to catch the attention of one of these dropout candidates because this individual has the same or a similar position as your party on its focus issue. This candidate met with representatives from your party and decided to run for president as your third party candidate. So you are going to pick from this list of candidates. You notice we have Cory Booker, Pete Buttigieg, Julian Castro, Tulsi Gabbard, Amy Klobuchar. Those are some Democrats. Andrew Yang, formerly a Democrat, Mike Bloomberg, an independent, Bernie Sanders, often sides with the Democrats, but he's an independent, Howard Schultz, the president of Starbucks, and of course Kanye West. On the more conservative side, we have Nikki Haley, John Kasich, Josh Hawley, and Tim Scott. You can see we have a nice variety of candidates from different parties, from different backgrounds, men, women involved as well, so you can pick a female or a male candidate. If you want to choose someone not on this page, you have to get approval, but I would suggest trying to keep it simple and stick to one of these 14 individuals. Okay, if you click on their name, there's a link. All right, each person's name is linked to a website that has stance on their issue. So if I go to Cory Booker here, you can see his stance on abortion and budget and the economy and civil rights and corporations and so on. You can determine if he is for or against something just by reading some of his specific quotes that he's had and thoughts and ideas on certain topics. Okay, you can do that for any of the candidates. Okay, some of the candidates are more liberal, some are more moderate, some are more conservative. You'll be able to see that by looking. Make sure their view on the issue that you picked is the same as your party's. And then you can move on. Okay, so you can put the name of the candidate here. Where do you think they fall on the spectrum? Is here, do you think your party is pretty radical? Do you think you're kind of center to the left, moderate leans left, moderate leans right, center right conservative, or far right kind of libertarian? And you would justify your answer here on question 6 with a nice 3 to 5 sentence analysis of your party's stance on that issue and other important issues possibly. 7 and 8 go together. Question 7, again, you're going to look at the issues. You can go here. You can click on your candidate's view. Pick any of these issues right here. Okay? Make sure it's not the one you already did. If you already did legalization of marijuana or you already did gun rights, make sure it's something different. And highlight 3 issues. And then, with the help of that website and the help of the picture, help of the link on the picture, determine your candidate's stance on these 3 additional issues that you picked. What is the issue? What's your party's stance? Are you in support of it? Are you against it? And what is the candidate's stance? Does it match? It doesn't have to match. They don't have to match every single issue, right? You might have a different belief. Your party stance might be what you believe personally, whereas your candidate might believe something different. And that's okay. As long as the focus issue, right, is the same as what they believe. These issues do not have to be exactly the same as what your party stands for, and that's okay. Number 9, you're going to look at the campaign. You can go to 270 to win. You can click, I kind of give you directions of what to click. And it says list the 5 states you would spend the most time campaigning in. Okay? Remember, the red states are very much Republican states. So if your candidate is more of a conservative third-party candidate, you might want to try to get that state's votes because they already have the conservative base. But if you're a conservative third-party candidate and you're probably not going to win over a liberal state, a Democratic blue state. You might want to focus on some swing states, some of the larger states, but it doesn't have to be all swing states or all states of the same political party. You can kind of mix and match. All right, so pick 5 states. How many electoral votes does that state have? I'm going to center this. And then you're going to write a 3 to 5 sentence justification here, kind of why your candidate should spend time campaigning in these 5 states the most. Okay. Number 10 is a reflection. Justify your choice of candidate for your third party by summarizing in a cohesive written reflection. Summarize kind of, why you chose this person, what they stand for, and how this helps your party. Focusing on some strategy ideas with the issues and with the 270 to win and so on. I have some questions here that you can consider while you're answering number 10. All right. Number 11 is the last question that is required. So there's 11 questions. A positive 3 to 5 sentences, a positive impact of third parties on the presidential election. Okay. And then a negative impact of a strong third-party candidate in a presidential election. Okay, explain why you think this, come up with a reason, kind of explain your reasoning. There's a bonus question if you want to do a bonus question. You can also look from some of those choices and pick a vice president that would be your running mate. Maybe from that list, maybe not. Keep in mind that the candidate must be from a different state. Right? You're not allowed to have a candidate from the same state. They can be from a different party if you want, or if you wanted a Democrat with an independent or a Republican with an independent, that would be okay. But they cannot be from the same state. That is a rule in the Electoral College. So you come up, you pick your choice. Why would this person fit? Hopefully they have to have the same stance on the focus issue. So that if they're, again, for gun control, you have to have someone who's also for gun control on the vice presidential ticket. When you are done with 1 through 11 and the optional bonus, if you want to do that, you would turn this in on Schoology. Check the due date in class. You'll have class time to work on this, 3 or 4 classes, again, half an hour each day maybe. If you can get a couple questions done each day, you'll have plenty of time to finish this during class time. It's going to be a 40-point project, and here's the rubric. So you're looking at 8 points for a 1 to 5, your candidate choice. We're looking at 8 points for the reflection, for the spectrum and the campaign questions, 8 points for the issue questions, and then really overall research and planning, I'm looking at 8 points as well. You can see that instead, this one's the opposite rubric. The other one was kind of knowledge and understanding and communication. This one's focused on investigating and thinking critically. So this is like a kind of opposite, if you will, rubric. But it's 40 points, so it's a little bit bigger. It's a little bit more work than the last part of the project. Okay? All right, if you have any questions, bring them to class. Hopefully this video helped you out. Thank you so much. See ya.